Hey everyone, welcome back to Rhythm Railroad. Here's another video on my cat's design for the dispatcher panel. And I made a little progress, so I want to just get a quick video in of what I've done. So the main thing that I want to show you here is this Fort Edward area. The reason why I wanted to tackle this first is because I wanted to learn how to do a crossover. And this is the most simplistic crossover that I have. It's in between the siding and the main, but these sections are very long on either side of the turnouts. So I figured, you know, let's say there's a train, for example, here. I'm just going to occupy that block to reflect that. This train can be sitting in this half of the siding if it's a shorter train, while the train that's coming from the south can bypass it by going around it this way. I just didn't want to, the reason I put this turnout here is, or this crossover here, is because I didn't want to completely block a siding or a main if I can get another train around. Another thing that can happen potentially is that there's another short train sitting on this side working on the team track, and it's just holding for another train to just, you know, come by before it continues to work. So let's say there's a train here and a train there. So what I did today is I basically added ABDL 168 for block detection to get this turnout, these two turnouts, and that turnout hooked up independently. So that's 4 blocks that I've added to the sensor table here, and you can see they're reflected here. So, well, not the flam I also added, but we're going to start here. So CP Dana is the tail end of the, you know, the siding. Then the midways are, this midway main is the crossover on the main side, and it's also CP midway siding right here. Now I got to clean this up a little bit. I don't know why. I think when I put the wires into the BDL 168, I might have switched these two by mistake, because theoretically it should be midway main, midway siding, and then Carolyn. So the CP Carolyn is the beginning of the siding, and they're actually reflected here. There's Carolyn. These are midway. I gotta put the labels in, and then this is Dana right there. So what I'm gonna do real quick is demonstrate how I can get a train to track all the way through. So first I'm gonna just, you know, set my route up. So remember, we're gonna go through the main here, but then we're gonna cross over right there. So we'll be on this half of the siding, and then obviously we'd have to go back on the main. So I'm gonna line that up. Now when I hit the signal mast, it'll find the next route possible. And I'm still debating whether I'm gonna have signals here or not. This might just be like a routing thing. But you know, either way, it'll still find the route to that next signal. So, and then from here, I'm obviously gonna keep going. So I'll hit this signal mast, and then it finds the next route to the next block. So now that we have the turnouts individually wired, theoretically, the train should be able to track without skipping any blocks. Because previously I had these blocks as just blanks. They were just placeholders. So there was no sensors attached to it, but now we have them. So we're gonna just assign a train here. It's gonna be fake, but whatever. We're gonna assign, let's say, the manifest train, which is not the right number, but whatever. So that's a lead locomotive of the manifest train that I have programmed already. And we're just gonna give it a crew by right-clicking on the label, and then just I'll pick myself as the crew. Once I accept that, this turns yellow, so I know the number turns yellow, which indicates that there is a crew attached to it. So theoretically, I should have a green signal here. I'm going to cross over, and then I should have a yellow signal on the other side. Now let's see. I think these two signals might have been wired incorrectly, but let's see what's going on here. Oh no, they're working. All right, so yeah, I have my yellow signal on the siding, which even though it looks like it's the main, it's actually the siding. And then I should have a green on this side. This is a number 8 turnout, so I decided to make it a high speed or medium speed, turnout, so you can go a little faster through there, rather than a number 6, which is, it's not ideal to go really fast through it. So I'm gonna get my locomotive started up here. I'm using just a little test train here with just a locomotive and a car that has resistors on it. So get that going. So I'm going to run this kind of on the slow side for now, so you can see we're approaching the signal here, which is CP Carolyn right there. So theoretically, once we cross that signal, we should see that label move into the turnout automatically. And that should be happening very, very soon. Signal is approaching in about 1 second. Right here, we should be seeing it. There it is. So the label moved over with the turnout, and notice that the turnout didn't light up the diverging router. It only lit up the main line. And now we just entered the actual siding, or actual main line of Fort Edward. So now that moved over. The reason you see that is because I'm going so slow that the boxcar that I have with the resistors is, it's just, this little, by the time the second set of wheels comes through, it turns off again. I might have to set the debounce time to a little bit higher. So now this is going to take a little while because it's a like I said, it's a long section of track. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. But right now we're beyond the signal, so this should be all red. Yep, so that knocked it down, and now we're sitting on the main line, and the other train would be sitting here. Here's the team track, but you can see we have all of this up until about there to store a short train. So if I'm bypassing, I'm just going to speed up here. And once I approach this curve, the crossovers are right there. So we're going to go back to the panel, and we should see that label move. You're going to see that I'm going to go real slow through there, but you're going to see that the bottom turnout route lights up first without affecting the top turnout for the siding. But it goes, it's a pretty quick transition there. So there goes the bottom turnout. Boxcar is still sitting behind it, and now we should see the top turnout light up with the label moving up to the siding in just a minute there. There it is. So that's working appropriately. And now, and also again, notice that the other parts of the turnout are not lighting up. That's why it's so important to wire your turnouts independently. So now we're on the top part of the siding, which again is the longer, track. So it's going to take a while. We'll speed up, and I'll show you where we are now. We're over here now. We're on the siding part of the Fort Edward section. Let's speed up. This is the team track on the other side. That's reflected. That's a hand-thrown switch. So, all right. So now we're approaching the signal. I'm going to show you how it drops first. So again, we're on the siding, so that's why it's yellow, even though, that could theoretically be green. It's a number 7, and it's on the main, kind of like on the main. So just knock it down. And before we get into the next block, I want to show you that see the label's sitting on the actual turnout now. And now we're going to proceed to the next block, which is the final part of that route. And you'll see it move over, just like that. And once we clear the turnout, that's done. And obviously these two are the trains that were sitting, the fake trains that are sitting there waiting. So that's working perfectly. That's exactly what I wanted to do with JMRI that I wasn't able to do. I could probably do it now that I have my turnouts wired, but it wasn't as clear and as clean as here on CATS. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you. Next, I'm gonna wire up the turnouts over here. I think it is. Oh no, over here. So these two are wired already independently. So I just gotta assign them an address. So that's next. All right, I'll make another video once I get that figured out.